Welcome to the Liberator. It's Jesse Valdez with Eric Mateos. What's up, Eric? All right. Let me hold on.
How are you?
There you are. Okay. Sorry, I lost you for a little bit. I was trying to play it. I was trying to play it cool. Okay, but we're looking good. Eric's testing out a new mic, you said, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying it out. Hopefully, it sounds better or as clear as earlier.
Nice, nice. And I've been using this Yeti you can see here. We kind of upgraded some things a little bit on my end. I'm using our camera that we use to do our crossover show. This is our legendary table.
Hey, looking cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I figured out how to connect the camera. So now I'm not using the webcam. But before we start to go into anything right now, let's talk about the giveaway that you just saw. We're going to do many of these giveaways, throughout the months. This is our first one in a while, but like I said, we're going to be consecutive with this. Right here, no, we're not drawing yet. And no, it's not beer or alcohol or liquor or whatever. It's tickets. You still have a shot at winning. All you have to do is say the magic word, or guess how many times we say the magic word, which is baller. There's one right there. I gave you that one. How many times we say baller within the first 5 minutes of this show, and we'll enter you twice into the giveaway. That's twice. So every show we do, you can enter yourself again and again and again. So if you watch 3 shows and get it right, 2, 4, 6, that's 6 times entering in. If you go into our website, you'll see a pinned video, which was that video that you just watched at the beginning. If you follow the rules, that'll also enter you. So if you watch the show 3 times, got all 3 right, that's 6 times plus the post on our Facebook page. That's another time. That's 7 enters right here. It's about to end, very close. If you want to win that Visa gift card, Eric, tell them a little bit about, the giveaways that we might be doing, after even the Visa gift card.
It's not just money. You could win tickets to concerts now that we're opening back up. We're one of the lucky states, so we got plenty of stuff coming. From comedy shows, concerts, to basketball games, to fairs, anything rolls. Also, merch too, free merch.
And that's pretty baller, man. It's pretty
Yeah.
baller that we're going to have, like you said, we're going to do giveaways towards concerts where we can
Yeah.
get you like front row, possibly.
Certain artists coming, certain world tours are coming.
It's not just, this is a small giveaway. This $100 one is a small one. We're going to do the concerts. We're going to get a little creative with what we do. But yeah, that your chance to win just by either watching the show. Thank you for watching, by the way, or just following the simple rules on the page. Let's go ahead and talk about what our agenda is for Liberator episode 5. We're talking a little bit about voter ID, identification. Let me go ahead, and we got some stuff. Tell me, Eric, a little bit about some of this.
So we're specifically talking about Georgia today, right?
Yeah, exactly. That they passed something. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, so there's some weird stuff in there. They talk about the ID, and sorry. Oh, I found that weird too about the whole Dropbox being inside instead of outside. Did you hear about that? And then I guess they're gonna account a certain what was it, a manager for any type of complaints or some certain thing like that. I don't know if you have the clip. I read it, but like I said, I skimmed through it and I wasn't able to get the full detail about it.
I do have, so here we could start off with some of the snippets that we have that just kind of discusses a little bit about the bill passing from this past election. Obviously, it was inspired because of this past election. Let me go ahead and make that. There we go. Can you see that really well, Eric? By chance? Yeah. Several voting organizations filed a federal lawsuit. Okay, that's pretty baller. To stop the bill Thursday night, saying it creates unjustifiable burdens, especially on minority, young, poor, disabled voters, the lawsuit by the New Georgia Project, Black Voters Matter, and Rise opposes absentees ID requirements, drop box limits, provision ballots or provisional ballot invalidations, and food and drink bans. The election overhaul in a state with a history of voting rights struggles came after the first victory in Georgia by a Democrat in presidential elections since 1992. So basically, what they want to do is they want to ensure that whoever's
Dems win
voting
them all.
is what?
That the Dems win them all.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean,
Which is
I agree to an extent that you should not make it harder for people to vote. I get that part for certain, but you got to have some safety net there. Don't you agree?
oh yeah, I mean that's why we have people from both sides of the party there as witnesses, and I mean that's why we preferably choose to vote in person than do these mail-in ballots. But that's the part which I don't get that much. Like what makes them so worried? Like they want it, but if you really check the stats and the polls from that night and or throughout the week, I mean the Republicans are winning it, and all of a sudden they kind of got a spike as well overnight, and the same thing happened, and they ended up winning it. So why are they so worried, or why are they pushing it so hard? Like I don't think anyone was really affected by it.
I agree a little. I agree a bit. I mean, this election was different. COVID took a place. A lot of people were, voting by mail early, and so it's very hard. But the loser got 74, 75 million votes. That was the loser, and the winner got, past that in the 80s. And so you kind of wonder what happened there. And like I said, I don't believe that you should be making it harder for people to vote. I get that part, but you need a safety net. Just like when you know, drive a car, you need a driver's license. Purchase a gun, you need a driver, or you need some kind of identification, right?
Yeah,
I feel like, hey, at least they're not asking you to bring in your social security, right? Like all they're
exactly.
saying is bring an ID, we can tap that number in instead, because the alternative from the ID is having your signature. That's the alternative. It's as long as your signature is eligible and it looks like it's you. Which, how does somebody know what my signature looks like when they're doing the ballots?
Not only
Then
that,
you,
your physical presence as well,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
And that's all you really need. All they need to know is that you're a legal citizen and have a physical person there, and your identification, which obviously confirms that you're from the state slash country.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm helping people out with this giveaway because we want more people to win it. Baller, baller, baller. Okay, if you know the rules, you know what I mean right now. So I'm helping you guys out because there's not that many people right here in this. Right here, you want your name in there, you can win that $100. Let's go ahead and move on to the next little clip we have talking about this. It says absentee voters will require. Here, let's make that a little bigger, will be required to submit driver's license numbers or other documentation under a new process for checking their identity, replacing signature matching processes, which we just talked about. Over 200,000 Georgia voters lack a driver's license or state ID number, meaning they will need to submit additional proof of their identities. In addition, there will be as little as 1 week of early voting before runoffs, down from the current 3-week early voting period. The big calls for runoff to be held 4 weeks after general elections, leaving little time for early voting. So what do you say about that? So basically they're saying minorities and blacks don't have their lives together, is basically what they're saying.
Not only that, it sounds like they're. To me, that sounds more difficult because you have what churches, libraries, schools that are all nearby for you to show up, but they're requiring you to enter all this information that they don't really need, because if you show up, go walk down the street or something and give in your ID/license and vote with your physical presence there. That's all they really need. I don't know whether it sounds like a more difficult process to me, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more with you. I don't understand why.
Why they need everything? Is it they need a piece of blood for you to send through the mail too, or something?
Yeah. Carlos says, I don't believe either Trump or I don't believe either Trump or Biden, I think he meant, got over 70 million legitimate votes. Okay. I don't think, I mean, for the most part, you have an identification, whether it's a driver's license or some other sort of identification. So to me, I feel like that shouldn't be really a big deal. And to really call out minorities and say, pretty much they don't have their stuff together. So, we should cut them some slack. Like, that's kind of like a slap to the face in my
Yeah.
opinion. And I don't, like I said, like right now, it's as long as you have your signature, which is okay. Well, how does the person that's verifying my stuff even know that's my signature to begin with, right? So at that
Yeah.
point, why even have a signature? I feel like the ID thing is totally fine. I don't understand why it wouldn't be.
So you just send them your birth certificate and they count your vote or something? That makes no sense to me. Like, just show up.
Yeah, that too. Here's a quote. It's unbelievable that there are still some people trying to stop people from voting today. You are changing the rules, cutting the voting hours, and making it more difficult for people to vote. That was from Rep. Erica Thomas. Too many people fought, bled, and died for our right to vote. So I agree to an extent. I agree to an extent that I don't think we should be making it harder to vote for like the whole entire the lack of time. Even the gap's already this small. Why make it smaller? I get that part. I don't understand why they're doing that part. The ID part, like I said, I really don't understand that part.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it overwhelmed the people that have to count that too. Like, okay, so we're starting a week early or whatever. Throw in the information. Post office takes it. Could get lost in the mail or something. And then for less people to show up, like, that makes it more confusing, and your vote could get lost to the mail. It's not an uncommon thing for that to happen. So I don't know how this is a better alternative.
Yeah. So what is the better alternative then?
Just show up. If you have to do
Okay.
2 days, do 2 days instead, if that helps. But I mean, I've never really. 2015 when we went voting, and we went to junior high, and the lines were pretty long, and it got kind of boring for a while. But I mean, we stood there and we wanted to vote. We were out there, and we didn't leave. But I get it. There's a lot of people that uh, don't want to wait in line for that long. We got other stuff to do. Got to go to their jobs.
That's the thing though too, is like, yes, like, I mean, you look at it in a personal sense, I want to go out and vote in person, whether I got an email ballot or not. I want to go legit hand my ballot, to that person,
Yeah,
to that official, or to the Dropbox, whatever. I want to physically leave my house to do so.
yeah,
And the problem is though, is they really they really should think about making election day a holiday and giving people the day off, because it's a pain in the ass, for one, to be able to get there on time when they close. Somebody like me, I get off late. You know what I mean? Like, it's very hard and frustrating to be there, even though I will make any time to get out there and wait in line. I will wait in line for something like that. I feel like
I I get
it's
that,
a
but
privilege to
I
do
mean,
that.
I get that, but there's so many places open. I mean, I've literally seen no issue. Like, I've seen schools open, those get full. Libraries open, they get not as full. Even senior centers, you can show up and be there. And
Yeah.
I get it. People's schedules are different and all that stuff, but I don't know if you have to make it a holiday, but like I said, I don't know, just make it 2 days instead of making it one day. Or don't overwhelm the vote counters either. It's a lot of votes from a lot of people.
Oh, okay. Look at here. We have okay. So Carlos said if you're too incompetent to acquire an ID, you shouldn't be able to vote. And then he also goes to say massive disagreement there, Jesse Valdez. What was it he was disagreeing on? Or with
I'm
me?
guessing the whole holiday thing.
You don't think it should be a holiday? Why?
Like I said, you don't have to make it a holiday. You can just make it 2 days, or if you really want to do it, then do it over the weekend. If they really want to vote and have people's votes be there, because the majority of people have weekends off.
So you're saying that they should expand the time that you are eligible to go out and vote.
If
Is
you
that what you're
want more votes, or if you want it to be fair, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could get in 2 days you could get one day off.
So you didn't think it was so you're admitting that it wasn't a problem that people had their ballot in and it was already counted before people even went out to vote on election day. You're cool with that?
I'm not really cool with that. That's why I don't agree with mail-in ballot. That's why I keep saying to show up physically, be there with your identification.
Okay. Let's see. Carlos, voting holiday because democracy is stupid. Then what? Nothing's perfect, but then what's the answer? What's the answer?
Like I said, maybe do it 2 days.
But what's the answer? Democracy is stupid.
Uh,
What's the answer then?
I just gave an option right now.
I
You could
wanted
do
to
it
see if
multiple
I was
days.
say something back. More people don't vote than those that do.
Yeah, that's true too. Like, you get a lot of ignorant people going out to vote, and that's the unfortunate part about it.
Well, here's the problem. Everybody that voted, I don't even think they voted for somebody they wanted. They just voted because they
Because
wanted
of
somebody
hate.
else out of office.
Because of hate.
Like, we're
That's
never
what
going
I'm
to get
saying.
change.
Exactly. So I think it's the people that are the more conscious and in the know voters that should be able to vote, and they'll find their time and find a way to get there to vote. Because I don't know about, there's a lot of ignorant people. That's not helping anyone.
Okay, we have another comment coming in. Show up, do it in person at the polls. That's from Cameron, longtime friend right there.
See, I agree.
I do agree. Like I said, I, we're coming back to the argument of whether or not it's a good idea that Georgia makes it where you need a voter ID, where you cannot no longer just show up, make sure it has your signature, it's good, we'll count it, but they want to make sure that it's legit you. For the most part, I mean, we all have IDs, whether it's a driver's license or some kind of identification. To drive a car, you need an ID, driver's license. To buy a gun, you need some kind of sort of identification. I,
Exactly.
I see it as a safety net, really. I don't think that's a big deal. And I don't understand why, these representatives are kind of downplaying and kind of, I don't know. It seems like a slap to the face to minorities saying, "Oh yeah, they don't have their shit together."
Well, that's their curtain. That's the way they get away with this stuff. It's just to use the minorities to say, "Oh, we care about these people, so let's implement these laws or rules." So we're all of our diverseness comes into play.
Okay, let's see. We got some more comments coming in. They voted because the celebs told them to. Yeah, they
That has a
all
lot
pretty
to
much
do with it.
endorsed Biden. I mean, you got a few that endorsed, well, I don't know about who endorsed Trump, but I know for like Bernie when he was running. Kanye ran. That's a celebrity in the flesh. Although I believe the reason why he ran is because he actually really likes Trump. And he was trying to get the black vote to vote for him, which in a sense was leaning towards, I don't know if he had a strategy, but that's what I was thinking, is to lean towards Trump.
I mean, he wasn't the only one though. You don't forget about Ice Cube and Shaq. They both endorsed Trump as well.
Oh, that's right. They did, and they actually got some backlash for doing that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. These are people of color. People
Yeah.
of color, you know, black people are saying vote Trump.
But
And they
when
got
they
a backlash.
do it, they get called Uncle Toms, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is
Let's
sad.
see. Oh, we got another one coming in. Here, I will put this one up again. If we make it easier to vote, more people will vote. I think that's the point, right? You want to make it easier to vote, but you also need that safety net. Can't just have anybody voting, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're just gonna start making up names and making up numbers and stuff. And then, like I said, the whole mail-in stuff is a mess. It gets lost regardless.
Let's see if we keep going. Let's do a couple more comments before we go to the next slide. We got to, but let's see. Let me go to this. We'll show Austin's just to be nice. What the F am I watching? You're watching The Liberator, which is a political show about the politics, basically. Whether you like politics, love politics, you deal with politics every single day. So why not get involved? Carlos, that's the problem. Dummies vote off personal emotions and feelings than actual policy. I hear this quite often.
And you hear a lot of arguments. You hear a lot of arguments like that. And
But
you try to ask them a question, and then they just say because F whatever or because of this. It's
but
like never actual
good
detailed.
personal emotion. Like I understand. You
Out of
shouldn't vote.
rage.
What's that?
It's out of rage. They just do it because someone told them to, or the TV told them to hate someone, and so now they have to hate them and they have to go and vote them out or whatever. It's not
Yeah,
because of.
and I don't believe in that. I definitely don't believe in that. I believe just vote for you. If everybody would get it out of their minds that they have to vote for somebody because they have a chance at winning, even though I don't like that person. If they would just vote for who they wanted, everybody, same mindset, regardless of who it is, we wouldn't have this two-party system that's broke and corrupt.
Propaganda is too strong. People watch too much clickbait. That's the unfortunate part about it.
Let's see. Richie says Ice Cube endorsed Trump after talking crap about him.
That's true. He criticized him, and then he endorsed him, and then he criticized him, and then he endorsed him again.
I don't get it. Well, I mean, I do get it.
It's kind of good, though. Maybe he didn't like something he did, so then he decided to make a bad song about him.
I mean, I get it I get it to the extent of, for one, I mean, let's play it out there. You like so-and-so, right?
Yes.
So-and-so could be your ride and die, but you also have to, hold them accountable.
Yes.
There's a candidate
hold them accountable stronger.
Exactly. You should definitely hold your side more accountable than the other side. And if there's something you don't like or agree on with that candidate that you're for, then you probably should speak up and hold them accountable for that. So maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I kind of got out of it. I was confused for a little bit too, and I didn't understand what he was doing.
Okay, I don't know who Lil Pump is. This is going way beyond my time. So,
but he did. Also, Lil Wayne. Don't forget, Lil Wayne did too.
Oh man. Okay, let's go on to the next one. We have a lot of comments. We'll get into them. But let's go into this next one right here. We'll put it like this.
It is unbelievable.
The 98-page Georgia election bill covers many aspects of voting access, ballot counting, elections oversight, and runoffs. Besides requiring ID numbers to vote absentee, so to vote absentee, not to be there, okay, the bill mandates that ballot drop boxes be located inside early voting locations, limiting their usefulness.
So it makes it harder.
So that's dumb. I don't get that.
That's what I would remember. I said that earlier. I was like, I remember reading this. This is like my biggest outrage is like this is not helping them because the place has to close at certain places, especially if it's government run. They're usually closed by 9 or 10.
Shoot, they usually close by 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So Carlos, that's why we need less people to vote. Is that because you don't think everybody's educated to vote? I mean, I can see that. I mean, in a sense of,
Yes,
if you're gonna go vote, just don't go vote because the TV told you to. And
that's the harsh
you know
truth,
what?
though.
The craziest, this is what's crazy is, and we kind of talked about this with the shadow campaign that Time Magazine wrote. Basically, your vote's your vote, right? At the end of the day, what you put down on pen, on that paper, on that ballot is your decision. But the persuasion that you get from the media, from the commercials you're watching, like I can't even tell you how many commercials I watched on TV, just seeing them pop up, Nike commercials even saying vote as if your lives depended on it. It was that powerful of a message. Nike has nothing to do with politics, telling you to vote as if your life depended on it. Like,
And whose
what
side
kind
were
of
they
shit is
on?
that?
Whose side were they on?
Exactly. Without saying that vote for Biden, they said vote for Biden.
And then you couldn't even watch a basketball game. That's what made it even more frustrating.
Yeah,
Propaganda
wow.
everywhere.
But yeah, I mean, I don't get the whole box thing. But if we move on to this, so here is actually
This is
a
the other
lineup.
thing I was telling you about that I didn't get. The hotline to report illegal election activities will be set up in the Attorney General's office. Okay, who controls the cameras that are inside the buildings that these mail-in boxes will be in? And which attorney will this be? Like, this is all set up to be uh, kind of corrupted, in my opinion. Also, counties will be required to certify election results within 6 days instead of the 10 days currently allowed.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I don't agree with. Um, I feel like we should still give a little more time, especially people work.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
identify
they
it
got
too.
lives,
That's it.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I believe in is identify it too.
yeah. Okay, so
Edward
there you go.
says Ice Cube just wants the views.
It could be that too. People, everything for views or viral.
Richie says it's a popularity contest. No one knows who's independent or who talks about the independent. It is a popularity contest, and people only vote for somebody that they think has a chance or a shot.
That's why Trump won.
Yeah.
He was a
Next,
popular person. Everyone knew him.
that's true. Early voting for runoffs will be reduced to a minimum of 1 week because runoffs will occur 4 weeks after general elections. The deadline to request an absentee ballot will be set 11 days before Election Day. Members of the public will be prohibited from disturbing food or water to voters waiting in line. Election workers are allowed to set up self-service water stations for voters in line. The state election board could remove county election boards and replace them with an interim elections.
Why no food and why no drinks?
I guess they just don't want people interacting with the voters. I guess that's the only thing I could think of.
They don't want pigs.
It's always like that every election, and we know who they side with. Carlos. And then Carlos also goes on to say, thank you for watching, Carlos. Why do athletes wear shirts that say vote? It's persuasion without them to physically point a gun at your head or physically grab a pen and tell you to vote for a certain person. Yes, at the end of the day, you vote for who you want. But like I said, the persuasion that on who you vote for is incredible. It's incredible. We'll move on to this one. Next one. Absent ballots will be verified based on driver's license numbers and other documentation instead of voter signature.
Like, that
Okay,
can't be manipulated.
that one can.
Like, it can't be manipulated. I'm
Oh,
being
it can.
sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say with that whole thing, I am all for that part right there. Absentee ballots, people that aren't showing up waiting in line, will be verified based on driver's license numbers or other documentation. So I'm guessing a social security or something like that instead of voter signature. How do they know it's my signature? You know what I mean? To
Okay,
me,
but
I'm all for that one.
Okay, but they also don't have your signature. The government has what? Your license number and your documentation already.
Yeah, they have that, but I mean, all you're
So
doing is
you,
typing in a number and being like, "Oh, yep, that's him. We're good to go." That's it. You're typing in a number. You're not. I don't
yeah,
know.
but they could also manipulate that. They'll be like, oh, that's not who we wanted them to vote for, so let's check. Or, oh, this guy didn't show up, but we could type in his number or his documentation and see if he's at least legal. And then, okay, this guy votes for us. With the signature, at least, I mean, you can't really uh, forge it. And if you are outraged and know that you didn't vote or something, look it up, and then you can,
So you're for only the signature, or you're for the driver's license?
I don't know if that's a solution. Like that could be forged because the government knows your numbers and your documentation. They don't. They have your signatures and as well, depending on how many documents you sign and stuff. But I mean,
Oh, there you
I
go,
don't know.
Trevor.
I still think in person is better.
So Trevor says the signatures are on most IDs. That's very true, but it requires you to bring your ID. So I guess I don't even remember. Do you need to bring your ID when you go and vote on the machines? I don't think so, right?
Yes, yes.
Or you do?
I brought my ID when I went to vote.
See, every time I voted, it's always I literally just grabbed my thing and put it, like I walked up and gave it to him, but I've always had one in mail.
Oh, okay.
So good point, though, Trevor. Let's go back to this. So we're back. Ballots drop boxes will only be allowed inside early voting locations and available strictly during business hours. Weekend voting will be expanded for general elections with 2 mandatory Saturdays offered statewide. Counties could also choose to offer early voting. Okay. And that was the last of that lineup for Georgia. A lot of stuff. You could disagree or agree. I think the reason why this whole thing came up to begin with has to do with what happened when Biden said, "Hey, if Georgia, if you guys win, turn that state blue, I'll guarantee you $2,000 stimulus of your own money, anyways."
Yeah.
But instead, we got
And
1,400.
1,400.
Okay.
So you know how that works. Yeah,
Yeah.
that it makes no sense to me. It just seems like more of a waste of time. Ignorant people are still not gonna go out to vote. They're gonna take it on as free vacation pretty much.
Yeah.
It don't make sense to me.
Well, Eric, that's really all we have today for the whole ID thing. I just want to let everybody know that if you're not into politics or you want to continue to follow us, but maybe you have another niche, go ahead and check out our show on Fridays, which is the No Knowledge Podcast. Starts off with some UFC MMA fighting talk, but it also sprouts into other topics, sports, etc. Catch them same time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and that's on Fridays.
It's
We'll
a
also
good hang.
what's that?
It's a good hang.
It is. And hey, we're gonna have these weekly. We'll have our show weekly. We'll have that show weekly. We have some other shows in the works. And hey, actually, before we if I can remember how to do this, hold on, Eric. Before we end it, and I want to talk about the giveaways too. We're gonna continue to do these giveaways, and I want to show the screen grab thing. Hold on. Let me see how I do this.
Back to the No Knowledge Podcast. Though. Just a couple ballers, talking shit and talking sports.
That's true. Let's see. Let's do this. All right, Eric, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, can you see our website?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, this is up and coming. So we'll show you our Facebook where you're seeing us. So right here's our Facebook, Media Crossover Entertainment. Here's that pin post I was talking about. Pin post. All you got to do to win that $100, like and follow our page and share this post. Tag 3 friends. Option 2, watch our video and see how many times we say baller. We have plenty of stuff. Here's one of the things I shared. Eric, I think you agree with this, right?
Yes, I like that. Free Julian Assange.
We're attacking this guy for showing that our government's corrupt. But let's go to the website real quick before we end the show. So here's our newly built website. We're still in the making. Right here's the home page. You get there by clicking onto the MCE logo, plugging you into everything that matters, an alternative source for your news, along with crossing you over into geek culture, entertainment, and the sporting world, plugging you into all of the latest trends, hottest tech, spills on everything sports, video games, music, and more. You'll find our latest episodes and our latest giveaway on this page. And then if you want, you can also find our shows right here. So look at this right here. Click on the Liberator. There's our cover, and then here's all of our shows. We got some other shows as well. No Knowledge Podcast. Again, this is starring with Jose. Has some coming on. And then we got our old show, which we'll be doing the giveaway on in April. The crossover show. Crossover show is basically we cross over to all of the topics. Oh, there's Julian right there.
There you go, Free Julian.
And if we keep going, so there's the giveaways. Our MCE team. Eric still needs to write his description, but this is our team.
I'll be there soon.
Partners, we're still working on that, and then we have extras. But yeah, this is basically our page. It works friendly on your
mobile and desktop.
Yes. Yep. So let's stop that. That was easy. Can you see me again? Let's see. Yeah, that worked well. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Before we end the show, we're going to play our promo video one more time. But thanks again, Eric. Do you have anything to say before we end it?
No. Thank you for watching, and keep sending comments. We'll read them. Peace.
Thanks again. Thank you guys again for watching The Liberator with Eric Mateos and Jesse Valdez. All right, guys.